Well, hey everybody, Backyard Scrapping here, and welcome to part 3 of our video. We actually finally got a halfway decent day out here where I could come out and it's not freezing cold or raining. Anyhow, this is our grindings from our pot, from our all that material, the filter papers, whatever was there. This is a little bit coarse still, so I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of grinding here and get that a little bit smaller, and then we're going to split it up into several beakers, maybe 4 of these 1,000 ml beakers, so we get more coverage. And we're just going to put some aqua regia in it, and I'm hoping we're going to get some gold. I mean, I did see a little bit of gold in the in the bags, a little bit of foils, but you never know. Hopefully, he was able to recover, whatever didn't work out or whatever didn't, whatever happened. Hopefully he was able to at least, save that gold. But once again, he told me what the boards were, and I just don't remember exactly what he said. I could probably go back and look in the comments and find it. But the thing about it is I just don't, even knowing what they were, they're unfamiliar to me, even if I knew what they were. So I have no idea what they're going to yield. I don't know if we're going to get a half a gram out of this or we're going to get 10 grams out of it. But, we're just going to have to see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this one up a little bit more, see if I can get it a little bit finer. And then we'll break out several beakers, and we're just going to put some aqua regia on it, and I'm probably going to leave it for a few days. It's been cool. I may even set up a hot plate and put it on a hot plate and just let it ride for a couple days. Try and milk it for everything it's worth. Alright guys, I'm going to just grind that up. You've seen me do this stuff before. There's no point in me putting you through that. So I'll get back at you when we're ready to start adding some acids. Okay guys, so we did manage to grind this stuff down a little bit more. That was the solids. I have ground and ground and ground on that, and it's just not going to get any smaller. So I'm going to do it in a batch by itself. I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that I pulled out. This is, I don't know, it's one of them little one-legged, I don't know, transistor resistor or something. You see them standing up on the board all the time. So I'm presuming what he did was he did the whole board, everything. Here's a die. And this is some, looks like copper out of a chip, which I'm not going to throw that in there because there's no need in dissolving it. There's no gold on it. I looked at it. There's another die. So this is the stuff that was in these solids. So like I said, I'm presuming he just did these entire boards. There's a pin. I'm going to throw it in there. Everything on the board, whatever was there. So we did manage to get this much more powder out. I'm going to go ahead and get the beakers out, get this stuff divided out, and we're going to start putting some acid on it. And like I said, I have no idea. I have no idea what we're going to get out of this. I'm hoping we get something out of it. He's been waiting 2 years, so it'll be, kind of crappy. I know there's a little bit of gold because I've seen it, but just because you see a little bit of foil doesn't mean we're going to generate a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping they were very rich boards and that this was all worth it, and it was worth his weight and worth his shipping to get everything here. So let me get set up to do that. I've got a new beaker in the house I got to go get, and then we're going to just put some acid on this stuff and just let her go. So we'll be back. Okay, I skipped out on using my new beaker. I didn't want to use. I might be using it for something else, so I didn't want to put chemicals in it. What I've done is I've tried to divide this up as thick and as high on the bottom of each of these beakers so that it's all equally the same. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add some hydrochloric acid. You can see I've already got everything on the hot plate. It's not plugged in, but I just wanted to go ahead and get it out and get it ready in case we needed it. So that's our first step. I didn't measure or weigh any of this because there's no point. I am going to go look up and see what he said those boards were, just for reference, so I don't have to stand here and keep telling y'all I don't know what it is. But it's when you're doing something like this, this is a recovery. I mean, we're hoping to get something out of this. So there's no point in weighing the powder. There's no point in weighing out the acids and all that. I'm just going to do this by eye. We're going to leave it go and see what happens. So it may be a little bit nasty to get some acid in there because I didn't take out any of the ash, but I also didn't want to lose any minute particles of gold, you know, doing that by taking the ash out. So you get a paper towel and let's get this going. Ebony, please move. I don't want you over here while I'm pouring acid. I'm probably going to get some instant reactions off of this, just because I'm certain there's going to be a little bit of other metals left. When we are, I do have a face mask on, but I need to back off of this in just a second because I am still holding my breath. Face mask or not. And covering this with about this much hydrochloric acid should be more than enough to handle whatever gold is in this. We're not going to have to use a whole lot. And basically, I'm doing this under the same principles that I would if I was doing chips, other than the fact that I did not clean this dust. So, we definitely have some color. I'm going to swirl each one of these up, make sure everything's soaked through. Definitely have color. And now I can see some parts actually cleaning up and showing up in that coarser stuff. We're going to need a little distilled water. Alright, so our hydrochloric acid has completely soaked into all this material, and we're going to start adding a little bit of nitric, and we're going to see if we get anything. I can already tell by looking at this that we are not going to probably be able to even see the first drop, as dirty as this stuff is. But this is how I've recovered some of my own goofs before. I don't know really what my yield would have been out of them, because when you goof, you don't know what you've lost. So let me get some distilled water. We're getting some pretty good reaction on this one right away. And I'm seeing some reaction in almost all of them now. But that one on the left is really, this one's really going gangbusters. So I'm going to rinse these down a little bit. And we are going to put some covers on them and let them rock and roll. And remember, there's no heat right now. We don't have any heat turned on this. So it's just the reaction going on. I am seeing a favorable color that I like, barely, but that doesn't mean anything either, because aqua regia can turn a gold color just on its own. You don't necessarily have to have any gold present for it to make a gold color. Clean my last watch glass off, which, as you can see, I use whatever I can get my hands on for a watch glass. I can't see paying all that big money for a glass plate when all you need is a glass plate. Change this one over to here, that one to there, and that's going to be it for now. I'm just going to let this stuff go. So we'll be back at you later. Okay guys, it's been about an hour and a half, and I just came out here and shook these up a little bit, stirred them up, make sure we're getting a good contact with all our ash and our acid. We're still getting some knocks in there, so I'm just going to let this go. The sun has gone down. It's starting to get cold out here. So I'm going to go ahead and go in, and I'm going to just let these set out here all night. And we'll see how they are tomorrow. If I think there's anything else left in them to dissolve, I'll probably put a little heat on them just for a little while. I'm not going to do that now because I'm not going to be out here with it. So, but anyhow, so we'll see how these look tomorrow. Okay guys, it is the next morning. I thought I had this thing rolling when I had it on the stand, and I didn't. But what I've done is I've just taken all the lids off. I've added another little splash of nitric acid to these, and I'm also turning a little heat on. I just turned it on. Anyway, with adding the nitric acid, I'm seeing a little bit more reaction. So we still have some metals in there that are not completely dissolved, especially in this one. We're getting a lot of reaction in this one. We're getting a good reaction in this one, and some reaction in here. But basically all of them are still showing a little. So what I'm going to do is periodically today, I'm going to leave this going like it is, and then periodically I'm going to come out and look at them. If they're still, I'm going to just keep adding nitric acid to them until I don't get any reaction at all. I'm stirring them up, we're shaking them up, moving them around. I'm not seeing a lot of gas coming up, so except in this one still has, that one must have had a lot more, maybe it was at the bottom or more concentrated, that powder, and we just got more metal in that one. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do so far today. Like I said, there's not a whole lot to see. I'm basically just going to do what I said, just keep doing this number to them like this, just swirl them around, make sure we get a good fluid contact with everything that's in there, and let them do their thing. So I'm going to actually, I said I was going to leave them for a day or two. I am actually going to do that because I keep picking up a little reaction every time I add acid. So we want to make absolutely certain if there is any gettable gold in here that we get it. And there's a lot of fine powder ash in there that could, clump up on something or, keep the acid from hitting it. So we just got to keep stirring it and keep on trucking. So when anything changes, I'll get back with you. Okay, guys, it has been several days. It's actually been about 4 days. I let this go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get it set up to filter. I'm going to just gravity filter it. As you can see out here, it's a little hazy. It's actually blue cold out here, and it's fixing to start snowing. So anyhow, what I'm going to do, like I said, is set this up to gravity filter. So we'll filter it off a little bit at a time. You guys have seen me do this many times. Filtering is long and boring. And I'm just going to pour it into the filter because it's going to take forever with all that ash in there. And I'm going to go in and out of the house periodically to filter this. So I'm not going to stay out here with it because it's just too cold. So I'm going to get that set up, and when we start filtering our first batch, I will show you, and then I'm going inside. Okay, guys, so what I've done is I've taken these first two beakers and I have poured them off down to what's the sludgy part is, trying to keep this as clean as we can at first. I'll have to vacuum filter these, but like I said, right now it's too cold out here, and that's why I'm doing this gravity thing. And as you can see, we're using 103 slow filter papers to try and get as much crap out as we can. And as you can see, this is going to go at a snail's pace, which is perfectly fine because I'm not going to stay out here. I'm going to go in and warm up. But it's going to take quite a while, and we're probably going to have to, even after this goes through once, we're going to have to filter it again. So like I said, you guys have seen this a million times. I'm probably going to go ahead and call this video right here. I know it's a little bit short, but this is going to be probably an all-day to a 2-day process. Doing it without setting up the vacuum and all that stuff. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. I'm going to come out here. I'm telling you, I'm going to come out here periodically, and when that gets down halfway or so, or to near the bottom, I'll go ahead and, I've got these two in already. We'll go ahead and we'll put, start adding these. Then we'll filter it again, which should go a little bit faster. And then I'm going to try and see if I can filter these, gravity. But it's also going to take a lot of rinse water to clean that ash. So we're probably going to have to end up doing that filter in one of these big boys here so that we can reduce it down. And get it back to the point where we can drop the gold out of it. Hopefully, I'm really hoping we get some good gold out of this. I'm sure Ron is too. But like I said, you never know until the job is finished. You don't know what you're going to get. All right, guys. So everybody stay safe out there, and we will see you all in the next video.